Hey, what's happening everyone? I'm SirJames coming at you guys with another video. Hopefully you guys are doing well. In today's video, I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a look at in my review of the Hot Toys Darth Maul figure, specifically from the Star Wars Solo movie. Some of you might be thinking, wait, Darth Maul was in it? And he was for just a brief scene, but Hot Toys still decided to go ahead and make a figure and release him. He was actually a figure that I was like trying to think, do I want him? Do I want to wait for the Clone Wars Maul that Hot Toys is also going to be releasing? And it's just like I kept going back and forth, and I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to go ahead and pick this guy up. And so far, I do not regret this decision whatsoever. So just a quick look around the packaging really quick. This is what the figure is going to look like as far as the packaging goes, and he's actually part of the DX lineup, specifically the DX18. So interesting. We've actually already had a DX Darth Maul specifically focused around the Phantom Menace. There was one where you can get him without the speeder, or you can get him with the speeder. But yeah, there's basically that one, and now there's this one. But when you remove this, you get a really cool box underneath this. And what I really like about this packaging here is that it feels premium, because typically when you get your Hot Toys figure, they are kind of like in your shoebox kind of design, but just this outer shell here is nice and heavy duty, and I just really love how that looks. So they did a really good job with that. And usually with any DX stuff, you usually get either a bunch of extra things, or usually in the sleeve, when you open it, you usually get something on the little board back here. I forgot what came with the Jack Sparrow that I have. It's been a while since I've seen that one. But with the previous Darth Maul, you actually had a metal card on it. And here you have a keychain of the symbol there. I just keep it in there. I never really mess with those anyways. So let's go ahead and get to... Before we get to the figure, let's go ahead and kind of showcase some of the accessories. So first off, if you remember in the Star Wars Solo movie, Darth Maul was sitting on some form of a chair or so as he was talking to, man, I can't remember her name. It's been a while since I've seen the Star Wars Solo movie, so I do apologize. But he was talking to the person at the end of the film, stating that, you know, we're going to be working closely together, as he was using the Force to grab a saber. But you do get his chair included. So, you know, pretty little neat accessory. I like accessories like these. You know, it's not too often you get a Hot Toys figure that includes some kind of display piece that you can incorporate. You know, like with the Obi-Wan Deluxe, you got the little hologram section that you get to mess with. For the Dark Side Anakin, you got the little mining droid on the lava bed. And then for this guy, again, you have this. Again, I just like little additions to this, because eventually you can kind of put together a nice little Star Wars playset, if you will. Also, you do get a large base, just like with the other previous Darth Maul release. Of course, we do have a different graphic here on the bottom, but you also have a little bendy display stand as well. So if you want to pose him in some mid-air flight, or whatever you could think of, or maybe you're just looking for a way to hold them a little bit more securely on the base, you can go ahead and do so. It functions quite easily. This essentially just screws right in, and then you just pop in this other piece, and boom, your base is fully assembled and ready to go. Pop in the bench, which honestly the bench here actually has rubber feet too, by the way, so if you're worried about this potentially scratching the surface, it's not going to do so. It's perfectly fine. Now, the interesting thing about this one is that you also get two holograms, one of which makes perfect sense for this figure. The other one, not so much. This one would only make sense if Hot Toys released a figure of this character, which they never did. But, I mean, if you like collecting the little hologram figures, then this one might be cool. So, here's the first one. So, this is the one that doesn't really quite make sense for this particular figure's release. But it looks great nonetheless. So, if you have a way to kind of provide some lighting for this, then it should look nice on your display. The other one that you get, which this one does make sense, is for this character. Again, I don't remember her name, I apologize. But he was the one that he was speaking to at the end of the film. Now besides that, you also get a LED lightsaber arm, which I didn't bother to put batteries in it because these LED arms, well, honestly, they suck just because they don't light the lightsaber properly. You would have to get like a custom made one to even look remotely cool. So I never bothered with these anymore, but they're always good to have lying around. So if you want to send something like this to get custom made for a proper lit up Hot Toys lightsaber, then you could always do that. But thankfully you do get a separate one, so you can play around with this one and use your standard default blades. So very neat. I know a lot of you guys were asking me if I was going to review this lightsaber. Oh, here it is in my hands. I'm reviewing it right now. NeoPixel, Profi board, everything. But speaking of the saber, we also have blades. Just as always, we do get 2 effect pieces, which, you know, I actually did mess around with it for the first time, and actually turned out pretty good. You also get your 2 typical red blades right here, which remind me of what you would get with a Gundam model kit for your beam sabers. And then you also get some additional hands. Nothing too crazy with. You kind of got, you know, little grabby hands. I'm not going to bother with each one, but, you know, you get a total of 8 hands altogether. Of course, you got your lightsaber holding hand. You do have this for both the left and right hand side. So whichever side you want him to have. But the most important thing is, of course, going to be the figure. Now, the other accessory that you would get that you would have to assemble on him would actually be his necklace right here, which you basically remove the head like so. It is on a magnet, so it is exactly identical to what it is on the previous DX Darth Maul. And just like with his head, if you look in the inside, if you see the little white tabs in there, those are little joysticks which will allow you to control his eyes, so you can have him looking left, right, up, down, cross-eyed, not cross-eyed, so whatever it is that you want to do, you do have your option there. But the head sculpt is very, very well done, so pretty good indeed. But like I said, what's neat about that is that if you have the previous one, you can go ahead and use the head sculpt. So if you have something that you personally like, just use whatever it is, then just pop it on there, just like so. Oh, fix your neck there. He does have a really nice outfit all the way around. Now with his gloves, I actually, when you remove them, you have this like pleather kind of, I don't know what the material is, that's usually around the joints. I removed this. It's very simple to do, which will allow you to attach the hands a lot better. And even with that gone, obviously it's not going to change the look or the effect of the saber. I mean, not saber, the figure at all. Now, the other cool thing about this guy is if we go down towards the legs section, we actually have robotic feet. And you can see all the wirings and stuff like that. You got like the pistons here that actually move and pivot sides to side, up and down. So a really cool thing for sure. Of course, you're going to have some limitations, but you can still get away with a little bit of more than what you would normally get with some of your human-based characters, or basically non-robotic limbs, if you will. So very cool. So that's obviously going to be featured on the left and right hand side. And also with the clothing here, you do have a little bit of wiring, so you can go ahead and kind of mess with these and pose them up to kind of get it, or like a bit of wind or whatever is in the breeze. So you do have options to play with that. Let's see. You know, he could just go ahead and fix his head, you know. So yeah, you get some good posabilities. So you're not gonna have any like main hindrance that I could think of in terms of his outfit. You can actually pose him quite well, which is great. So you can get a lot of his iconic poses that we've seen from either the shows or the movies. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and showcase and pose for you guys in just a moment. But just want to kind of give you guys, in terms of what I think before we switch camera views, is that I think this is a great figure. Now do keep in mind that Hot Toys is going to be releasing another version of Darth Maul, which is going to be focused on the Clone Wars episode. So if that's something that you want to wait on, that is available for pre-order. I'll put a link to it down below. I think this guy recently did go waitlisted because a lot of people have been recently buying him, but I'm pretty sure there's some other websites or places that sell figurines where you could potentially get him from as well. He is, I think, if I remember correctly, like 280, 285. Definitely not bad. But again, like I said, there is another Darth Maul figure. So if you're only going to choose one, do you prefer the classic Phantom Menace, which is obviously up in price now that one is come and gone? There's this one here, Solo movie, or there is going to be the one specifically from the Clone Wars lineup. And if you're collecting from the Clone Wars lineup, then it makes sense to go for that route. But like I said, there's definitely some plenty of options out there, or there's even an older Sideshow one. But regardless, let me know what you guys think about this one. I'm going to go ahead and let the video finish off by showcasing some poses for you guys. But until then, I'll see you guys on the next figure review. Until then, you guys enjoy the rest of your day.